It's never easy. I mean, we did a good job the first half defensively, and then second half had a few little problems, but, we made shots, and every time they came back on us, Day made a shot, so ended up being a fairly easy win, if there is such a thing with us. Fire away. Oh, by the way, he wouldn't let me say it, but we have nicknames for our guys, but we had 5 different countries out there at one time. So, it's Fusini, Duquesne, and Matouche, so we call him Duquesne is douche, touche, and Fus. Just thought you'd like that little rhyme. I couldn't help it, Rick. I have to at least, It's old man joke. All right.
Just curious, coming into this game, even though St. Louis is last place, one of the top scoring offenses in the country, or in the league. Just did the Davidson game and the result make it easier for you to preach to them not to overlook this team?
So Tristan, look. So if you look at St. Louis or you look at Davidson or you look at any of those teams, they're all good teams. Like St. Louis, they've had trouble defending, but they're hard to guard. Like they have some serious pop with Jimerson and Sincere Parker and Hargrove, and they're good. And Davidson, I don't care what their record says. What they do tonight? They beat Fordham, right? Like Davidson's a pain in the behind. So every team in this league is capable because it's a great landing spot for transfers. So like people are going to say, well, LaSalle's no good. LaSalle's got a Hall of Fame coach, right, and 2 of the best guards in the league. So on any given night, they can beat you. Ask UMass, who pounded VCU tonight, right? So who would have thought that LaSalle would beat UMass? But that's what's hard about this league. This league is – now I'm going to make an abstract statement. This league is exactly like the Big Ten. And what I mean by that is I'm not saying we're as good a league as the Big Ten, but what I'm saying is it's exactly like the Big Ten in that there's 4 really good teams – and then everybody's capable of beating everybody, right? And so that's what makes this league hard, and especially with the changing dynamics of the NCAA tournament, it makes it really hard because people are paying a lot of money to get to the NCAA tournament for coaches in the Atlantic 10, and there's only a couple spots. So there's going to be a lot of guys that get fired in the next 3-4 years because they don't go to the NCAA tournament because it's a hard league. Just look at the coaches in the league. Like it's not like you're dealing with like first year guys. You're looking at guys that, Fran Dunphy, Frank Martin, Archie Miller. You can go on and on and on and on. Travis Ford, Ryan Odom. You can go on and on and on and on. I mean, it's ridiculous. So it's a battle every single night. So we started 0-5. We're 6-7 now. That's a miraculous comeback, but we played hard teams early. We played the best teams in the league early, and we were a little snake bit. We still have some issues. It's a 3-ring circus sometimes in the last 4 minutes for us, but we're working on those things and we're trying to get better. But I pontificated there, didn't I?
Coach, with 40 seconds left, Dady Grant was 1 point away from matching his career high, and rather than trying to take the shot himself, he was trying to make sure Andy Barba got the shot. Does that just speak to his character as a teammate and a player?
So Dady is one of the most unique guys that I've ever been around in that he has unbelievable relationships with everybody on the team, regardless of their stature. So, he's got this knack of just being nice to everybody, which not everybody's like that. And so that it does speak to what he's all about. And Andy and him are close, but he would have done it for Lucas or Ethan, Anish, any of them. That's just the way he is. He doesn't really care about that stuff. He just wants to win.
Obviously, Day scored 31 tonight, but he really was working hard all night defensively. I mean, what can you say about his performance just overall throughout the game?
Well, we've been working hard on making our guys understand what it takes for us to win. Like, we wanted to hold them under 60, and we kind of fell apart defensively in the second half. But they were loose in the second half. They were just letting them rip. So it's hard when, teams kind of let their hair down. But it says a lot. Like, he's really been coachable and really trying to let us help him get better, and really demand a lot out of him at both ends. I think he wants to be a good player, and that's what good players do.
This is a two-part defensive question. First part, Sincere Parker came in red hot, 30-point games, just 4 points on 1 of 7 shooting. What was the defensive game plan for him, and did you feel like they executed it, not just on him, but on Gibson Jimerson too?
Well, we kind of geeked up Jimmy. We said, Jimmy, look, man, you try to own Eric Reynolds every single night. This guy's played at a higher clip than even Reynolds, 30, 32, 34, you're going to have to do a great job. But, we iced those ball screens, and our centers did a good job of making sure they were up so that he couldn't shoot it right away while Jimmy's on the side of him. So it was a team effort. But, again, we made him work. And Jimmy had his hands all over the place tonight, the old Jimmy kind of. So once he gets his hands on a couple of them, that kind of makes everybody a little skittish. And I think, it's a tribute to him. We've been hitting him really hard on it, just trying to be more complete, more simple, assists, being more of a lockdown guy, less gambles. He's still going to gamble his behind off, but you got to live with some of them when you can get as many steals as he gets.
I asked you after the Davidson game, your struggles defensively against front court players with Big seemingly being able to go off. Since then, outside of Daron Holmes, who's an All-American, done really well against Fleming, Veman, and now Ezra, who only had about 6 points when the game was relatively close. Do you feel like you guys have made good adjustments in the interior defense?
I didn't like it tonight. I thought we did a pretty good job the first half on him, but not very good in the second half. I mean, you got to sit on his right shoulder. It's not rocket science. The guy's not going to the left shoulder. And then we didn't get to the double team either. Now, we were ahead, so, Fusini's the best one we got to get into the double team, and he didn't play as much tonight. But, I mean, we have to continue to improve in that area, but we did it. We've done a good job, of not getting hurt when we double team. Most people that double team give up those threes. We've done a really good job of not giving up threes. And I think that's been the key to our season, really, is our three-line defense is one of the best in the league, or if not the best in the league. Now, they got some late on us, but they didn't have many in the first half. But we gave up some open looks in the first half, so it was a little misleading. We have to do better. But they've been shooting at a high level.
Is this what you've been kind of working towards with having the backcourt of Grant and Clark? Not to dismiss Rozier or any of the other guys, but is this your most comfortable situation, I think?
I mean, we've kind of groomed Jimmy to be able to adapt into that. I mean, we're a little bigger, and that's one thing about DeMichael. He's such a tough guy. Like he rolled his ankle in practice 2 days ago, and he rolled it again tonight, but he got 9 more rebounds. So, when you play him, you're getting a lot of intangibles. And he's chasing guys around. He makes mistakes, but, man, every mistake he makes is going to be done in a hard manner. So I think that's helped us more than anything is, we're a little bit bigger, and it gives us a guy that is willing to just run around and chase good players. And he contests shots. He rebounds the ball, and he's a good passer. He's a deceptive guy, man. You can say whatever, but he may be the main reason we turn this thing around when you really analyze it. I mean, it sounds crazy, but he's done a lot of really good things. Regardless of whether he scores or he doesn't score, he's always going to give you unbelievable effort. The guys like him.
Coach Day used the phrase "juiced up," but we were also they were asked about just how much fun it looked like the team was having. Were you able to get in on a little bit of that fun, or were you still harping on the things that they were messing up? Because you guys haven't been able to enjoy that, and so I'm just curious.
So I'm going to give you a little insight about coaching. And again, like Shaka Smartin was my assistant at Akron, and we talk about this all the time. If you're really like driven in this business, what happens is the lows always outweigh the highs. I mean, it's hard to really explain. So you never enjoy the moment because, you lose and you're sick for about till you play again. And then when you win, you're worried about the next one. And so that's the hard part about the business is you have to learn to try to enjoy the wins. But the problem is you win on Saturday and then you got to play Tuesday night. At least let us play Wednesday so I can enjoy it for Sunday. I don't have to go to work, and then we play Friday. We could, like, if we played Saturday, I could enjoy till, we wouldn't have to practice tomorrow. So to answer your question, that's probably one of the worst things I do is enjoy the good things. But this job makes you like that. It's, you're never satisfied. You're always trying to get better. You're always worried about the next one. And if you do it for as long as I've done it, it really gets to you, because you're always so paranoid about what's going to happen next. Maybe I'm just nuts. I don't know.
Before this game, you had a 3-game stretch against teams that you had already faced once. And just on the outside, it looks like you guys were able to make adjustments to have even better efforts against them. Coming up against a team like Fordham, who has a fairly simple strategy, at least defensively, are you guys going to do anything different against them going at their place, or will it be the same strategy as the first game since that worked out?
You see what I mean? You got me on the next game already. They're simple to defend, but they're difficult because they play all that garbage defensively. They play all that I formation, one guy zone, 4 guys man, total denial of your best players, trying to take your best players out. So the way I do things is I cram for exams. So I haven't even looked at Fordham since we played them. I might have seen them on TV or whatever, but I'm always on to the next one. So I haven't really watched anything since. I do think they've had some issues. I thought last year they were so cohesive, like they were 19-2 at home, and this year they can't win at home, right? Like it just tells you what a fine line winning and losing is, because they have relatively the same team other than Quisenberry and the power forward, who both are really good players. But they haven't quite been able to, like, I feel like they got more guys that are good, but they haven't been able to really replace those winning mentalities. So to answer your question, I haven't even thought about it, but I'll look at it tonight, and I mean, we'll keep it simple. It's simple for us, man. We got to keep people under 60. The lower, the better. The grind. Now they used to play like that, but now they fling it a little quicker. But for us, like, we have to frustrate people, and there has to be less possessions in the game for us to win. And that's kind of what we've been doing. Is just now tonight we got open in transition, and we have to take those shots too. But the less possessions for us in a game, the better we're going to play. Long-winded answer to a very simple question. Anything else? All right. Thanks for coming.
Thanks, Coach.